Hey guys, it's Nicole and welcome to Archie's 7 and 8 month update. By the time I got around to filming his 7-month update, he was closer to 8 months, so I figured I'd just combine them rather than doing 2 videos a week apart. So Archie is now 8 months old as of last week, which is just crazy. He is getting so big, you guys. It is ridiculous. Look at him. He is just, I feel like in the last 2 months, ever since he was 6 months, he's just taken off in what he can do now. He's really like he's always had such a big personality, but I feel like even now, like, his personality just shines through so much more. He's such a little character, and yeah, he's just seriously taken off crazy amounts in the last little while. So I've just popped him on the scales. Admittedly, I used our bathroom scales because I haven't had him weighed at the doctor's or anything lately, but according to our bathroom scales, he didn't really stay still, but so it was flicking between 9.2 and 9.3 kilos. So he is still putting on weight. Obviously his weight is going to slow down a lot now since he is moving around. So since I think in his last update at 6 months he was army crawling, he is now proper crawling all of the time. He was army crawling for probably a good 2 months. So at 7 months he was still army crawling, and then probably a week or 2 before he turned 8 months he started getting up on his hands and knees and rocking and sort of doing half-half for about a week, and then now he is just completely hands and knees crawling. He very rarely army crawls at all. And in his last update he was starting to pull himself up as well. He can pull himself up so well now. He is constantly pulling himself up. He loves just standing up, so if he is on the floor he will find anything he can to help stand himself up. So he will use your leg. If you're standing there doing something, he will use your leg to help him stand up. The couch, a table, anything that he finds he will use to pull himself up. Yes, you're getting bored, aren't you? He is so active. He hates being still, so I think I'm gonna put him on the ground now and let him play, because he is just really not going to tolerate sitting on my lap to do this video, I don't think. What are you doing? Can you see yourself? Who is that in there? Is that Archie? Is that Archie in there? Yeah. You play down here. You'll probably find that he'll try and grab the tripod or the chair, but we'll see how we go. Yes. So he is pulling himself up now, like on every bit of furniture, and he is also sitting himself up independently now as well. So he'll crawl along, he'll stop, he'll sit up, he'll have a look around, he'll crawl again, he'll stop, he'll sit up. Now when he's in the cot in the morning, when he wakes up, like, I'll hear him grizzling on the monitor. Ooh. No, we're not gonna pull the camera over, please. I'll hear him grizzling on the monitor and I'll have a look at him, and he goes from like lying down into the cot to sitting up, and then he'll sort of look around and realize that we're not there yet, so then he'll stand up in his cot, and then he'll start to like cry out to us to come in and get him. It is the cutest thing ever. Because he is standing up a lot, he is falling a lot also. He has always been a baby that runs really warm, so like if he's active he always gets like quite sweaty and hot, and funnily enough his feet and his hands get really sweaty. So when he's pulling himself up and stuff, and we've got tiles a lot downstairs, he slides on his sweaty feet a lot. So he is having a few falls, mostly onto his bottom, but he did yesterday take a spill. I don't know if you can see, but he's got like a bruise there on his forehead, big bruise. So I feel like he is definitely a boy and I feel like this is not going to be his first bruise by any means. I think he's just going to keep us on our toes a lot. He loves just being active and doing stuff. Like, he hates not doing anything. He gets so bored. He's not one to just sit there and play with toys. He just has to be doing something, exploring something. So I try to get out of the house at least like once a day just to do something, whether it's a walk. I've been going to the gym a lot lately, so I'll take him with me to the gym and just trying to get out and about so it breaks up the day and gives him something interesting to do. Because he does get bored very quickly. He also now has 2 teeth, so he's got both his bottom teeth. The first one came through, and then it took like a good couple of weeks for his next one to come through. And at the moment, no real signs of his top ones coming. I did think he was maybe teething a little bit the other week, but we haven't seen anything yet. So those are probably going to be the next things to come through, the 2 top ones. He is getting so good at eating. You can definitely tell now that the food is definitely making its way through his body rather than just getting sucked and, you know, like spat out and that sort of stuff. He is definitely now chewing and swallowing his food, and that is well and truly reflected in his nappies. So that's good. He pretty much likes most foods. He's not a huge fan of broccoli, even though he used to love that, but he's kind of gone off that lately. He just, anything that he can get into and eat himself, he loves. I have tried to give him some purees and stuff, but he just pulls the most disgusted faces if I try to give him anything that's pureed, unless it's fruit. If it's like a fruit puree, he loves that. Which I'll give that to him every now and then, especially if he's a little bit constipated or anything like that, just to get things moving again. And he loves that as a bit of a treat. His other favorite thing is frozen mango. So I have like one of those little, I don't know what they're called, but they're like a little thing that the baby holds, and it's a net, and like you put the food in the net. I put frozen mango and frozen berries in that for him, especially now that it's getting quite warm, and he loves that. It's a bit of a messy sort of thing, so we normally take his clothes off and give him that like in the afternoon or something if it's quite warm. He is currently still squeezing into 2 zeros or the 3 to 6 month clothing, but he is pretty much like, I'm not buying anything in 2 zeros anymore. Everything I'm buying is now in a size 0 or 6 to 12 months. And most of what he's wearing is a size 0 now. The 2 zero stuff that I've got is just things that I'm trying to get the last few uses out of. But they'll probably only fit him for a little while longer. So I'm now trying to build up his wardrobe with like more zeros. I feel like he's just kind of like going through the sizes so quickly, and I had a lot of the smaller sizes and then I don't have much of the bigger sizes, so I'm slowly trying to build up his size 0 collection, which is pretty much like, I'm pretty much there. He could probably just use like a few more like pants and stuff. It is starting to get really warm here, so I'm getting a lot of just short sleeve rompers. These Bond zippies are going to be like my favorite thing for summer. Lots of singlets. Yeah, it's just already getting really hot here. Yesterday it was 36 degrees. It's like we just like bypassed spring and is going straight into summer. It's just a bit ridiculous. So with the heat, he's definitely been more grumpy than normal. So I always use the air conditioning for him in his bedrooms for naps. This is his bedroom, which is why I'm filming. Well, I always film in here, but I'm definitely filming in here because it's nice and cool from the air conditioning. So that has helped him to be able to sleep. But yeah, I definitely notice he's more grouchy and stuff because of the heat. I'm offering him water. He will take water from a sippy cup, although he prefers to just like drink it from a cup, which is difficult because it tends to get everywhere all down his front, but he really likes it. And as long as he's getting a bit of water into him, I don't really care how he does it. what are you doing down there? He is still drinking 180 mils. Probably he has 1, 2, 3. He'll have 4 bottles during the day, and what he drinks at night varies dramatically. Like last night he had 1 feed overnight, but then other nights he'll have like 2 or 3. So it just really depends. Sorry, he's like trying to get into everything down there. So yeah, it really depends. He is getting a lot more distracted now when he feeds, so a lot of the time he'll have like half a bottle and then he'll like get up and play around, and then like he'll just drink the other half, like sort of like he'll have a few sips, put it down, and then have a few sips like 10 minutes later or whatever. Yeah, so he's getting a lot more distracted now, which makes it difficult to feed like during the night, and his bedtime bottle is a lot easier because I give it to him obviously in the dark room and stuff, so he takes that quite well. But during the day it can be difficult, especially if you're out and about, because there's just so much that he wants to see and do that he just has no interest in like lying there and having a bottle. He doesn't really hold his bottle himself. Like he can, but he prefers me to hold it, which is fine. Like I still like feeding him, but like yesterday in the car he was just cracking it because like I ended up being at the shops way longer than I thought. So I made a bottle and passed it back to him, and he held it and fed himself enough that he was then like just chilling out in the back of the car. So that was good, that worked. I was surprised. I thought I'd give it to him and he wouldn't be able to hold it and feed himself, but he did, which is a good trick to keep up my sleeve. He is getting so much better with the car. Ever since we implemented a routine, at 6 months he kind of just seemed to naturally like get better with the car, and I don't know if it's just an age thing or what it is that's making him like it a lot more, but I'm really not complaining. It has been so much better. Like he still does have his days. Like the other day he was screaming so horrifically that I had to pull over because I honestly thought he was like hurt or he'd done something to himself, but he hadn't. He just didn't want to be in the car. But most days now, like when I drive to the gym and stuff, he is fine. He's like, he just chills in the back, and then on the way home he'll fall asleep and I'll transfer him to his cot and he'll go down for like a one and a half to, you know, up to 3 hour nap for that morning. So awesome. I really didn't want to have to turn him forward facing, so now that he's a lot better in the car, it looks like I can keep him rear facing for longer, which is going to be great. In terms of sleeping, his day naps are normally really good. He goes down, like I said, after the gym, so about 9:15, he will fall asleep in the car on the way home, and then I'll transfer him into the cot, and he normally has between 1.5 to 3 hours for that morning nap, but normally 1.5 to 2.5 hours. If I'm not at the gym that day, then he will normally go down a little bit earlier, probably around 8:30ish or 9, and to put him down as soon as I notice he's like getting a bit grumbly and a bit tired, I'll bring him upstairs. We put him in his sleeping bag and put on some white noise, turn the air conditioning on, and then we put him in his cot and just pat him on his back. As soon as he goes into the cot, he normally like wiggles around and gets himself comfy, and then we just pat him until he drifts off to sleep. So that is a huge improvement, isn't it? You're doing so well. And then at night we normally do food, bath, bottle, and then we put him to bed. So we do like the same routine. We have like the sleeping bag, the white noise, and the air conditioning, and normally that is pretty good. He goes down pretty well, although he often wakes like maybe 1.5 hours to 2 hours after you put him down, and then throughout the night he varies. Sometimes he wakes up once, sometimes it's 2-3 times. The other night it was every hour to 1.5 hours, so it does vary. Last night he did like, I put him down a little bit later, so I put him down at almost 8 o'clock and he slept till 4 o'clock, so that was amazing. Yay, good boy. But he normally goes down at 6:30 at night, So I don't know if it was the later bedtime, I don't know, but yeah, his sleep varies a lot, and mostly it's because he'll be going through like a developmental leap, or he's teething or something like that, that will throw off his sleep routine a little bit. But he normally then, after he goes through what he needs to, he normally slips back into routine pretty well. Hey, do you see yourself in the screen? Do you see yourself in the screen? Look, it's Archie. He's obsessed with sticking his tongue out at the moment as well. I don't know if it's like a teething thing, but he loves to stick out his tongue. And he is well and truly found his voice. This morning he was just standing up against the table and just squealing for like at least 20 minutes. Didn't you? Yeah, it was fun, wasn't it? He's also obsessed with grabbing hair, so I am not able to wear my hair down these days because he literally pulls clumps of hair. I feel like I'm getting like bald patches on the side. Ow! Oh, let go. For example, yeah. So I feel like I'm getting bald patches along here and at the back of my hair, purely because he just loves grounding it and he does not let go. I think that's about all we had to update you guys on. Like I said, he's just learnt to do so much this last month. If I can, I'll try and get some clips now of him doing all those things, and I'll put them at the end of this video so you can see him in action. Or if you aren't following me, follow me on Instagram, because I'll often post pictures and videos up on there as well. And the links and all that will be down below for that. So that is where I'll leave you, because this guy is getting really grumpy, and we'll be back next month for his 9-month update. We'll talk to you guys then. Bye! Archie! Oh, you're so clever. Are the walls in the way, silly? Keep going. Keep coming. You can't sit down, there's a wall there. What are you doing? Are you standing up? Hi.